Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is AeroStar for the Nintendo Game Boy. In this 1991 shoot-'em-up from Sigma Protech and Vic Takai, the AeroStar fighter craft is sent to reclaim the Earth from mutants, who took over after we nuked the whole place in World War VI and had to just straight up leave. This may look like your average shoot-'em-up where you're free to fly around wherever you want, but that's not the case. The AeroStar can only navigate on designated pathways, and it has to jump between them by pressing and holding A to remain airborne as long as the jump meter holds out. Thankfully, the jump meter replenishes whenever you're grounded, but that doesn't resolve the question of, well, why an aircraft needs to jump in the first place. I've never understood why grasshoppers jump everywhere when they can literally just fly, and the AeroStar is basically the grasshopper of fighter ships. And the jumping mechanic is probably the biggest threat to your survival anyway, because it's really hard to line up your landing on narrow pathways, and if you miss, you plummet into the abyss. Lovely. There are some benefits to your grasshopper proclivity though, namely dodging projectiles. Small ground-based shots can't hit you if you're jumping, and large airborne shots can't hit you while you're grounded, which adds a nice strategic element here. Although I found the most lucrative strategy in this game is to rush the top of the playfield and blast everything before it gets the chance to shoot at you. Plus, enemies seem to go down in fewer hits if they're still scrolling onto the screen anyway. Just an added bonus, or an added bounds, according to AeroStar, which misspells bonus on the score screen after every single level. The grammar police inside me finds this infuriating, but the product error enthusiast in me finds this charming. But we're not here to spell check, we're here to blast stuff. By default, the AeroStar blasts stuff with its dual cannon, but you can upgrade it by shooting items to cycle through whatever power-up strikes your fancy. There are missiles which explode on impact, lasers that have a unique mechanic where they fly forward as long as you hold the fire button, then redirect 90 degrees laterally as soon as you release, and then there's the almighty spread shot. And you always want the spread shot. Always. You'll also want to equip one of the two auxiliary upgrades. The side beams take out enemies from the left and the right, while the satellite options shield you from projectiles. AeroStar is arguably a graphical triumph, given the visual limitations of the Game Boy, especially with its convincing scaling to show depth for different altitude levels. You've also got neat background details like animated water in level 1, claustrophobic caverns in level 3, biohorror alien guts and veins and stuff in level 5, and receding structures that almost do too good of a job portraying the bottomless abyss beneath you in level 7. Every single boss design is a winner too. I don't even know what any of them are. Hulking, biomechanical, mutant, alien, things, I guess, but they're awesome. And the sound design is pretty awesome too. All the chiptunes strike a great balance of mood between you're a hero saving Earth and everything is dangerous and we're all gonna die. I also like the bonus life chime, or as AeroStar would call it, the bounds life chime. My only gripe with the audio is that the damage sound for bosses tends to get cut out by other effects, and I couldn't always tell if I was making progress in some of those fights. AeroStar has 3 difficulty settings which are pretty true to their names. Easy mode is pretty tame by shoot-'em-up standards, and it only took me a few tries to beat it. But I could only clear hard mode by cheating with save states, because the bullets are so fast and the bosses take extra hits. Normally I wouldn't even attempt hard mode in a video game, but it's the only setting here that actually lets you see the ending cutscene and credits. Sadly, there weren't any more funny typos there to reward my bounds efforts. Unless you count the producer credit being labeled as produce, like vegetables and stuff. My favorite part of AeroStar was blazing around with the spread shot and side beams, because I felt almost unstoppable. At least until I had to jump over to a narrow diagonal pathway, which I would always miss because it's narrow and diagonal. I'm not a very accurate grasshopper, and I burned through a lot of bonus lives that way, or bounds lives that way. If I could change one thing here, I'd expand AeroStar into like 3 or 4 different games. It just has so many inventive mechanics that honestly deserve their own dedicated games built around them. Namely the redirecting laser upgrade and the option satellites, which shield your sides by default but reorient to your front or back if you fly up or down. There's just so much underutilized potential there. Overall, AeroStar is one of the most satisfying shoot-'em-ups I've ever played, with its balance between staple elements of the genre and a myriad of unique elements thrown in as an added bonus, or as AeroStar would put it, an added bounds.